Shanti May here, and today we are going to be talking about college. I am a junior at my school, and we are going into our third week of our second semester here. And I got to thinking that there's just so many things I've learned throughout my time here that, would have been a little beneficial for me to know about beforehand. I really don't want you guys to make the same mistakes I have. I know a lot of you have been receiving your acceptance letters for school and you're really excited and you're probably looking for any piece of advice you could get because new environment is always kind of scary, not really scary, but nervous. That's what I'm looking for. You're nervous and super excited. So here I am. I'm gonna tell you the top 10 things I wish I would have known before coming to college. So number one, this one right here, if there's any piece of advice I feel like you should follow out of this entire list, it is number one. And number one would be, do not under any circumstances buy the textbook until you have gone to class. And there have been quite a few classes I've taken here, and the first week of classes is syllabus week. If you don't know what syllabus week is, it's basically first week of classes is you go to class, you meet your professor, they give you your syllabus, which tells you what you'll be doing each week. They already have quizzes, homework assignments and stuff already laid out usually, and the dates and deadlines and stuff for everything. And along with that, it lists the textbook you need, all your materials, all that other good stuff. There's, especially for intro level, freshman level classes, there's no reason why you should need your book or anything for the first week of classes. This goes again, for just about any university here. I know I've had friends in other majors, and theirs is the same as mine. So I have had quite a few professors. I've gone to class the first day of class or whatever, and I sit down and they're talking, they're oh yeah, by the way, we don't use that textbook. The school requires me to list a textbook and that's what I picked. You don't need to buy it. Or they'll say it's recommended, not required. Or they'll be nice enough and say, hey, you don't have to go out and buy the textbook. I am going to upload a PDF or files of the book throughout the semester, so you'll see the book, but you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. Just that in general. And there are quite a few classes you could probably pass without the textbook. Not that I'm telling you to not buy your textbook if you're required to buy the textbook. If you're required to buy the textbook, buy the textbook. But if you go to class and they're well, I don't really use the textbook, or I don't follow the textbook, then don't buy the textbook. And along with that, I'd like to say that instead of buying all your textbooks, you should see if you can rent them first. I know firsthand that buying textbooks from your university bookstore is a really bad idea unless they're the only place that sells the specific book you need. You can usually find them online for cheaper, and you can rent them from Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I've had books that have cost $200 to buy, and I'll go on Barnes & Noble or Amazon because I have 2-day shipping. Not that that matters because it'll get to you within a week anyway, or less. But I've gone and I found those books for $35 to rent. And if you rent the textbook, they send it to you, and it's due back by a certain date. A couple of mine are due May 30th, and the semester ends way before then. So you just print out the little return label. They give you a return label to send it back, and I usually keep the box that they send it to me in, put the book back in the bag, print the packing slip, package right on up, send it to UPS, and I'm done. So yeah, if there's any advice you should follow, it's that one. Please save money. I remember spending $600, $600 on one semester worth of textbooks because I wasn't aware of all this. There's so much money you could save. Number two, do not expect for you and your roommate to be BFFs. Insert my roommate horror story time right here. In case you haven't seen that video, I'd watch that video, but the first week or the first month or two, of course you and your roommate are probably going to be best friends, especially if you don't have any other friends that are coming to the same university as you. However, you'll realize sometimes you'll slowly drift apart because you're not going to be like connected at the hip. You're not going to be going to dinner and stuff all the time, like, I mean together. You're not going to be like, usually you won't have all the same classes. Like, that is okay. It is perfectly okay. You will find your group of friends. You'll find people in your classes. You'll see other people on your hall and your your dorm room. Like, you'll see tons and tons and tons of different people. Like, I'm sure you're gonna meet your friend, but like, do not expect for you and your roommate to be best friends. I mean, if that happens, that's great, and I'm really happy for you because you've already had a better experience than I have, but more than likely it won't happen. Number 3, please don't do 8 a.m. classes. I know that you got up probably at like 7:30 in the morning in high school, but however, that does not translate in college. Just because you could do it in high school doesn't mean you could do it in college. I know my freshman year, I decided that an 8 a.m. wouldn't be bad. Like, I'm already a morning person. Like, I got up this early in high school. Like, I can do it in college. Like, what's the big deal? Like, no. If you know for a fact you are a complete and total morning person, you get up at 6 a.m. to go run, you were like already full of energy, you're ready to go party at 7:30 in the morning, then sure, you be the one to take that 8 a.m. class, and you know, we will all cheer you on because you were great. But most of us can't do 8 a.m.s. If you can avoid doing an 8 a.m. class, you probably should, because you have no clue what's gonna happen. At first, before I came to college, I was always in bed before, 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and I was like, I go to bed early, I get up early, like, I'm so zen, like, 8 a.m.s, they're my life. Like, no, now I don't go to bed till like maybe 12 or 2 in the morning. Not like, I'm not out, I'm like literally just up either working on something or can't fall asleep. Like, my 8 hours of sleep have shifted. So yeah, if you could avoid that, that'd be great. I'd recommend, like, none of my classes start before 11 o'clock because that's just where I am in life. I don't know, when I graduate, of course, like, I'm gonna shift it right on back, but usually an 8 a.m. class is not the best. Plus, it's really early in the morning, your professor sounds like this, and he's running on and on, unless you get like a really good professor, and most of everyone else in your class is pretty much dead. And if you can learn early in the morning, you do that, but I can't. Number 4, this is like a tough one, even for me to admit, but you should not expect to get straight A's. For one, you're transitioning from high school to college, and college, as everyone says, is a whole different ballgame. There's a completely different like way of learning. There are new things you're learning. Like, there's a lot. You're usually your first time away from home. You are self-reliant. You have to get yourself up, get yourself dressed and all the other stuff, and go to class. No one's making you go to class. There's just a whole like lot of dynamics that you have to adjust to. And secondly on that, I know usually people who go to college, not always, but a lot of you are used to getting good grades. You're used to having like the straight A's or the A/B honor roll, or maybe like 1 C here and there. You're used to being like the top of your school. But think about this. Everyone that applied to go to your school was the top at their school. They all of us here got like A's and B's and straight A's and honor roll and tons and tons and tons of awards and stuff. We were like the smartest in our school usually. Take all those smart people, all those people who are used to being the smartest in the room at their school, and put them at one place. And I'm sorry to say this, but like, you become kind of average. You're not like dumb, you're still smart, but everyone here is smart. So you have to try 2 times as hard as you did in high school. Usually in high school, you didn't even have to try hard to get good grades. You just got them. Like, I know for me, I never had to study in high school. I always said, I can't study. Studying's not for me. Like, I already know the material. And that's because like, it just came naturally to me. In college, you have to try. You have to study. You have to put in that work. What you put in is what you get out. So don't expect straight A's, but if you do get them, like, kudos to you, girl or boy. Like, kudos to you, because you smart. You got this. But if you do end up with like a C or something in a class, just work extra hard to like boost it up. Like, do all the extra credit. That's another thing. Make sure to do all the extra credit, because extra credit can help. There's one class I'm in right now, like abnormal psychology. Great class if you have it. Like, I recommend. We're learning about psychopaths and everything. It's great. He gives us, like, if you go to every single class or whatever, randomly throughout the entire semester, he has like extra credit where you just like, it's like a sign-in sheet, and there's 5 opportunities. We get up to 5% on our grade. I could have like a 65 in the class, end up with a 70 and pass. Not that I'm saying that's what's gonna happen, because I love this class and I'm probably gonna do really great, but you can, like, I can go up potentially a letter grade in the class. Like, make sure to just, I don't know, try extra hard. Like, I want you guys to do good in the school, and I don't want you to be shocked once you do your, like, get your first test back and be like, I guess college isn't meant for me. Like, no, it's meant for you. You just need to try just a little bit harder than you're used to. Sorry if I'm going on to a little bit of a rant. Okay. And number 5, college is what you make it. If you sit inside your dorm room and you watch Netflix all the time and you don't go out and, you know, meet new people, you're probably not gonna like college. You're gonna think college is like boring and sad and that no one talks to you. But if you go out and you go actively talk to people after class, like, or talk to the person who sits next to you in class and like exchange your number and stuff like that, and go out and have a good time, you're gonna think college was a great experience. Like, just, that brings me to my next point, which is number 6, get involved. Join a sorority or a fraternity. If that's not for you, join a club. Get involved in an organization. There's tons and tons and stuff around on your like campus that you can get involved to. There are tons of meetings, tons of clubs. There's clubs for everyone. We have like what is it? Saturday morning cartoon club, where they literally just Saturday morning they get together and they watch cartoons. Like everything from like Dragon Ball Z to My Life as a Teenage Robot. Like, they have that. There's skydiving club. There's Furby club, which I thought that was interesting. There's tons of like recreational sports and stuff. There's hiking. There's any and everything. Just make sure you try to get involved, because if you don't, like, you're not gonna meet a lot of new people. I mean, I didn't join a sorority until this past semester, which I'm in love. Gamma Delta Sigma. Shameless promo? Question mark. But yeah, I love my sorority, and I waited because I wanted to get my grades and stuff established, but I feel like if I had joined freshman year, like, I'd still be in a good place. Like, there are tons and tons of different things you could get involved in, and I just, that's mainly what I gotta say. Get involved. If you sit in your room and cry and you're sad and you're just doing homework, you're probably not gonna think of college as a good experience. I'm not by any means telling you to go out and party every weekend. Like, no, I mean, just like actively, like, go talk to people. I'm pretty sure there's someone in your situation right now, or who's in this situation I'm talking about right now, and is thinking to themselves like, oh, that's why. Like, yeah, get involved. I'm sure there's someone right now in your situation, in your spot or my spot, who's thinking like, that's me. I really need to go talk to people. Like, it's as simple as like turning to the person next to you like before class starts and start talking to them, asking what their major and stuff is. Like, it's what you make it, guys. Number 7, don't bring your entire wardrobe to college. It probably won't fit. I'm not saying I have a shopping problem, but dorm rooms aren't that big. Don't bring your entire wardrobe. I think this is kind of self-explanatory. What I used to do, which now all my clothes fit, but I guess that's like counterintuitive to what I'm saying. Yeah, it is counterintuitive to what I'm saying. But what I do is I rotate my clothes. So when you come to school usually starts in August, so it's hot, so you have like summery stuff. So you should have summery and fall stuff. And then you go home for like Thanksgiving break and stuff. So you take your summer, fall stuff, you rotate it back in your closet at home, and you bring back your fall, not fall, you already had fall. You bring back like little bit more like winter stuff. You can keep your fall stuff. And then come spring break, you rotate that winter stuff out and you swap it out for the summer. And I look like a DJ, and this is great. But yeah, that's what I used to do. It's a pretty great method. I recommend. Especially because like I'm running out of shoe space, and I think it'd be smart if I followed my own advice. Number 8, read the textbook. Read the textbook. There are so many classes I could have done 10 times better in had I read the textbook from the beginning instead of like just cramming at the end, though I still did really well. But like there are some classes where you literally just need to read the textbook. I took a class called, what was it? It was Intro to Psychology, and the guy told us like right then and there at the very beginning, you're not gonna get far unless you read the textbook. My professor wrote the textbook. Most of the books we use at my school, like the professor that you're taking the class from or someone on campus, like a professor on campus, wrote that textbook. And there's no getting around not knowing what's in it if you don't read it. So like, read the textbook. I recommend. Not that fun, but take notes. Get you good grades. So I guess it's fun because good grades, and like, read the textbook. Number 9, get to know your professor. Introduce yourself. Show him your face. Put a face to your name. Put a name to your face. Like your professor, to them, you're just another number in their class, especially if you're in a huge lecture class. At the beginning of class, or maybe at the end of class if you don't have another class directly afterwards, introduce yourself, ask them questions, get to know them, go by their office hours. I guarantee you that no one goes by their office hours until like it's time for an exam. You should really get to know them, because when it comes to like the end of the semester, or maybe like at the end of the semester, maybe you're like this close away from getting a B in the class, or maybe the next letter grade up, and they can like think of you and be like, oh, I know this girl, like I know, or this guy, I know they tried hard, like I'll boost their grade a little bit because I know for a fact that they were trying really hard in my class. Like, you want to make yourself stand out. That's happened to me like this past semester. I had a class and I was really struggling in the class. I tried my hardest in that class to understand what was going on, and I talked to my professor and everything, and at the end he ended up boosting my grade. Like, it really pays off to like talk to and get to know your professor. And if you really like, let's say you're interested in doing research in the future, read up on them. Read their like research stuff and what they're like doing and what they like to study, and then go to their office hours and ask questions on them, or just go talk to them in general. Because if you intend to go to graduate school, like, and you need like a letter of recommendation, you don't want to go to a professor and then be like, well, I don't really know you, all I know is you like passed my class. Advice, I got you. And number 10, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a Quizlet, there's an A. Paper drop. So yeah, Quizlet is a really good source, you know, for studying. I recommend. 10 out of 10. Hella fire. Too dang for children. Not too dang for children. Children, you should use this. Quizlet is great. Quizlet is like where you can make independent study sets. So if you're studying like terms or like certain questions, you can make like a little study set on Quizlet and like study well. Because I personally don't like paper little card things. I like Quizlet because it's great. Like they have like other different like test study methods to like study, and usually someone from your school has made a Quizlet in the class that you were taking, and it is amazing. You can literally type in like, I don't go here, but like University of Michigan, abnormal psych, blah blah blah, and then like a Quizlet pop up. And there are quite a few classes where like they have like the test or quiz for your class up there that you can study, or maybe an old test or quiz that you can study on, and it's amazing. It's great. Like, Quizlet the bomb. So I'll let you guys know if I come up with any more like possible things you should know before you go to school. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a room tour. I know that like my room is small, but there's a lot you don't see behind this hair of mine, and a lot of it's like down here and around. So yeah, let me know if you want me to do a room tour, like, or what you should bring to school tour, because what you should bring to school video to college, because there are a lot of things like I overlooked and didn't think to bring until I was here, and I was like, oh, I need that. Mom, let's go to Walmart or Target. Like, I completely forgot. But yeah, please let me know. I really want to help you guys. Let me help you. I want to help you succeed here in school, in college, and like excel and grow and be like a fantabulous person that I know you can be. But please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.